Support is crucial. Support is vital. A firm support system. You're coming from Jamaica where you can pick, choose, and refuse who you're gonna drop off your child to, who gonna babysit. You have grandparents, you have great grandparents, you have auntie, uncle, brother, friend, godmother, you have everybody. Everybody, pick, choose, and refuse. Now you come to Canada. The struggles of a single parent here in Canada. That's our topic for today. Stay tuned where I will be sharing with you tips on how to survive as a single parent migrating to Canada. Stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, my name is Yashika Turner. I am the queen of thriving, and on this video I share with you my journey as a Jamaican Canadian immigrant living here in Canada. So just sharing with you my immigrant lifestyle here, stories to inspire you, to guide you along your journey to create your own success story. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you the struggles of a single parent, a newcomer, a new immigrant settling in Canada. I've been through it. Trust me, I know the feeling. I know exactly what you're going through. I like my shirt, see? Grace sustains me. That's what brought me this far, grace. And I made the shirt. If you didn't know, yes, I have a whole line of apparels under the brand Holistify Life, where I empower you mentally, spiritually, and financially with the tools you need to survive, not to survive, but to thrive here in Canada as an immigrant. Now, if you haven't watched my recent video here, you will see where to live, the province to choose, the city to choose, and I have lots more videos. Not only videos, but I also wrote a book, What to Expect When Moving to Canada, where you find lots of more information. Now, let's get right in. The struggle of a single parent in Canada. Why? It's not easy. Trust me, it is not easy. I know you're coming from Jamaica. You have your full support system, family, friends, loved ones who help to care for your child when you're going to work, pick up from school. But now you come to Canada, everything is left on you. So, number one, support system. The support system is lacking when you take up yourself, move out of your comfort zone to create a brand new life here in Canada. You move away from your family, your parents, grandparents, and all the support you had. Now it is only you. You are the main support for your child. You are the rock. You are their strength. You are their everything. Right? So you yourself need to find support for you. Because when push comes to shove, you get all stressed out because you yourself or you're trying to get used to this new norm, this new value, this culture shock, taking the bus and everything. And then you turn, you want a little break, and there's nobody to relieve you. You want a little babysitting help, you go do something, there's nobody to relieve you. So be prepared for that. The support system will be lacking. So if you watch my video on where to live, that's one of the factors that I emphasize on to consider. Where do you have the most support? That will help you decide where you're going to live, what city you're going to live, what province you're going to live. So I would advise to go where you have the support, if you have any. Some people, unfortunately, they move here and they know nobody, no one, trust me. But be prepared to expect the lack of support. Number one. Number two, your mental health. The struggle is real. Oftentimes, you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. You might cry a lot as a single mom here in Canada. Trying to get used to everything else, the stressors, just the way of life. Your child is looking up to you as a support system, and you're trying to find support for yourself, and there's nobody to turn to, nobody to run to. Everybody is a long distance phone call. So at times there will be a season where it's going to be your crying season. Don't worry yourself. You're not the only one. I've been through it. I've been through that season. I know moving here to Canada for me, in Jamaica, it was okay being a single mom. I had my parents, I had friends, families, lots of support. I had a babysitter for my daughter until she started school. And even after she started school, I still had that babysitter. When I worked on weekends as a nurse, I could drop her off there at the babysitter. I had the pleasure of taking her even closer to just a little distance from where I was working at the hospital, to the housing department that was connected to the hospital, to my friends and my co-workers. That was how many different choices I had, how many different options. And they would take her, come to work, just drive, drop her off, do my shift. Sometimes I don't even have to pick her up until the following day whenever I work weekends. That is the luxury of being in Jamaica. Now, as I said, when you come here, the support is gone. No support. So be mindful. No support. Number two, you're going to bawl now. You're going to cry a lot. Yes, but that's okay. When you're feeling mentally drained, when you're feeling mentally, emotionally frustrated, reach out to somebody. Yes, it's going to be long distance, but it helps. It helps to vent, it helps to cry, and it helps just to talk to somebody else. It will help you. Okay? So that's number two. Number three, be prepared. Daycare is expensive. Daycare is expensive. So if you don't have anybody else to help you out with the babysitting, you have no choice but to pay daycare. Daycare at this time, 2022, is up to 40 to 45, maybe $45 per now, per day to babysit. And as you know, as you might know, starting school, if your child is starting school, they start school at age 4. Unlike Jamaica, you have basic school, they have preschool that they start at 2. Here is a setback. So if your child started school at 2 in Jamaica, come to Canada here at 3. That was my situation. So I had to wait a full year until she was 4 to start school. During that time, I had to find a babysitter for her. And during that time of me trying to transition, trying to get settled and everything else, I had no choice but to send her back to Jamaica, so I could set a firm foundation, because I wasn't able to afford babysitting, daycare, plus rent and all that while I was doing a survival job of a PSW. That time getting $13 per hour. Babysitting, that time was $8 per hour. So consider the expenses of daycare. Number 3. Number 4. Another struggle is the restrictions of work, finding jobs. There might be the opportunity to get jobs which includes night shifts, overtime, but due to the lack of daycare resources, you're not able to apply for these jobs. What to do? Try to find jobs that suit the life that you have, the current life. You're a single parent, so you have to try to find a job that's mostly day shifts, mornings, things like that, because most times it's hard to find daycare or babysitters for nights and weekends. Most of them 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So factor that in. Jobs, where to work, time of day to work, how to work, even if they start school, what time you have to drop them and pick them up from school. So those are the factors, number 4, that you have to consider when it comes to job. And number 5, as I just mentioned, job, is the before and after care. As I mentioned, the type of job that you have and the hours, you have to match it and make sure that it is in alignment with the care for your child. So if you can find and if you can afford before and after care, then I would suggest for you to do that. For example, when I came, as I said, to God be the glory, He always provides. He always make a way for myself and my daughter. Then when I was a single parent, landed in Canada. So after I sent my daughter back for 3 months until I settled and everything, networking is important too. This brings me to the bonus tip. You have to network, socialize, and meet people. While I was working as a PSW, I met a coworker, was living on the same apartment building and was working at the same agency as I was working at the time. Story time. Look at story time for you. Don't worry. Sit down and listen because you will learn from these stories. I met her and she had 2 little girls also. She was a single parent also. And I think I was going in the elevator and I met her and we started talking. She's an African. That woman, God brought her into my life at that time. And we're talking, and I said to her, she said, "Oh, you don't have any kids. I've been seeing you and you're by yourself. And I told her I had to send my daughter back because of the struggles, right? Of a single mom. She said, no, go for her. Go pick her. I will babysit. I will help her out. You help me, I help you. I was like, okay. Because, at times she needed somebody to help her out with her kids while my daughter was in Jamaica. Me did just want to hear that. Me did just want to know so me find somebody to help me out because I was in a different city with lack of support, no family, no friends to help me out with babysitting. No, God sent this woman because God knows that I couldn't survive any longer without my child. So immediately I booked a ticket and I went to Jamaica, brought her back. And it worked out so well. Until, at times our shift clashed. And Keja was younger than her kids, so there was a clash there. But then she knew somebody else that the fee for babysitting was within my budget. The only thing was the distance. I had to walk way away, way down a way, drop her off, come back, take the bus for work. So the walking back and forth was a struggle for me. So with Kijiji, but that was just the initial part of how God brought her into my life, introduced me to somebody else, and with that little help, after now I got my job as a registered nurse, and I could be able to pay more because I was getting more, so then I could afford daycare. Found this other lady on Kijiji. She was a nurse at the time on maternity leave. She had a 3-year-old son, so she was only charging $20 for the day. $20. And you know how much the other people was charging? $13 per hour. Per hour. Look at God. Yes. $20 per day. But the thing again was the distance and taking a bus because I had to go in the opposite direction to drop her off, come back to the bus stop, take the bus and go in this direction. Back and to and from, and it was stressful because I had to wake her up early in the morning to drop her off, and then the stress of picking her up in the winter and all that. But God worked it out. To God be the glory, He worked it out. Then by the time she started school, now at age 4, the next thing was, how am I going to find before and after care? Because I started, my work was 12 hours from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. School starts at 8:30 to 3 o'clock or 3:30, something like that. I don't even remember. But I needed a before and after care to keep my job, right? What did I do? Again, I had to search. I think it was Kijiji. Kijiji is an app, pro tip, you will need as an immigrant coming to Canada. So I searched Kijiji and I found Yeah, because the lady that was helping me out on the building, she had moved. Yes, she moved, gone, left me. Now I was on my own. The one little person I knew for support left me on my own. But God is my provider. Grace sustains me. So I found this lady on Kijiji, and she was doing before and after care, which was perfect. At that time, it was $25. That I'm talking about 2012. So the before I think was $10 and the aftercare was $15. So that was $25 per day. Yes, per day. So factor in, I'm not sure the current price today for before and after care, but back then, 10 years ago, it was $25 per day. On top of all the other bills, I did a previous video on the cost of living to expect in Canada. You can go check it out here. So factor in all of those struggles that you have to maneuver, and you have to reprogram your whole lifestyle of what you had going on before coming to Canada. So those are the struggles of a single mom. You want to do something, you want to go somewhere, you have to have your handbag beside you, because you don't have nobody to leave her to go do anything. Whether you're one or two or three children, as a single mom, it is all on you. So my tip is, have a firm support system, have faith, and believe God will provide for you. Ask him, and he will make a way for you. He will. Trust me, he will. So if you're a single mom, comment below. If you need some support, if you're struggling right now, comment below support, and let's see how we can help you. Okay? And if you're here to the end, thank you so much for listening to my stories, and I hope you've learned something. If you've been through this process, if you landed with a partner and you have full support, share this video with someone who you know will benefit from this video. And like, comment, leave a comment below. Make me say you watch the video. Drop something in the comments, okay? Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll put the link for my shirt in the bottom to visit my website. Okay, bye for now.